Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters for April, Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. Um, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm watching a video. I mean, it's old. I've seen it many times. But because I picked up my 360 camera, my old 360 camera, so my Samsung Gear 360 2017. I thought I was doing a time lapse yesterday, and I ended up doing a video. It's so dumb, but whatever. And I remember I picked it up and I went, oh yeah, let's watch Michael Fisher's Mr. Mobile review of the camera, and I'm like, yeah. He's reviewing it as if like it's a terrible camera. He starts off saying the 180 photos, videos, and time lapse are garbage. I'm like, they're not that bad. He said that like they're awful, like they're very bad, low quality, 3 megapixel, full HD, but still bad, low grade, high grain, and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, look, in my opinion, I don't think it's that bad, but definitely not good. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, okay, well, um, look, it's not the worst. It's just not very good. And then he goes, yeah, but it's not the point. The point is, he does a whole different job. It's for 360. You do 360 and it's a cool thing. Like, look, make a 360 photo, make a 360 video. Go get any 360 camera that was made in the last like 2, 3, or 4 or 5 years, and you'll see that it is just some amazing thing that blows people's minds. Slap them on Facebook, slap them on Pandora, slap them on YouTube. Just do something with them. They're amazing photos and videos and time lapse. They're incredible. They blow minds. I've shown this to multiple people. I showed when I was at the retreat, the girl's house we were at. I was showing her the like 360 virtual tour that she made. I mean, I made. She made. Yeah, I made. It was a little hard to do because it was kind of a little bit. I had to turn down the thing, and I didn't set it properly, like the speed of the moving. But I showed it to her, and she's just like, "Oh, that's so cool." I'm like, "That's cool." She kind of was just kind of like, that's cool." She didn't have like a, "Oh my god, that's so cool." Look at it. No, but I was very much like, okay, whatever. But for me, I have shown people, my dad, my brother's brother, my friends. I've shown people, and they're like, "Wow, that's so cool." Like, I still think one of the best websites in the world is, my favorite website is basically, it's Panora. Panora. Panorra. Panora. And it's very beta, like, work in progress, and it crashes and whatever, laggy and all that stuff. But they've added so many cool features. Anyway, it's basically Instagram for 360 photos and videos. It's actually amazing. It's actually like the coolest. Now, is it great? No, of course not. But it's so cool. It's not even funny. Like, it's great how cool it is. Now, am I saying it's like the best? Well, no, of course not. But is it cool? Ho, yeah. It's like so interesting. Because I said 360 virtual tours is what I want to do as a business. I want to do basically what my friend does. Friend, I don't know if we're friends anymore. That's a whole other story. That's a long story. But the retreat, the girl whose retreat we were at. Anyway, right? She does videography. I want to do, because I said to someone, I found some guy who was going to make me a website. So I was like, okay, great, make me a website. And he made me a website for, pretty cheap. And, okay, he said, well, what kind of website? Give me like an idea of what you want with your website. And he goes, or I went, okay, this exact website, her website, but 360 virtual tours. But for 360 virtual tours. And he's like, oh, good. He's the only guy out of all the people I've looked up that would actually, like, be willing. Like, he actually showed me what, like, told me and showed me and explained to me what he would do beforehand. So I can have an idea. He's got me a website basically that I like, and now he's just finishing up the final touches. So, and he's gonna host for free for first year. So good stuff for me. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So personally, this is just my opinion. Personally, I feel like, 360 is just really cool. I think it's like really cool. Now. Whoa. I have to not reiterate, but I have to like make it clear. 360 photos are awesome. 360 video, forget it. It's the stupidest thing ever. So dumb. No, because there's an episode of the Park Bench way back in the day, Park Bench, where Matt Gray and Tom Scott are talking about like 360 stuff and how he used to do 360 and like it was rigs of like GoPros, together and you had a station. But anyway, Matt Gray basically talks about how like 360 photos, cool. 360 videos, faff, because they're stupid and they're dumb. Because you gotta like look around and make sure you know where you're going. Like look at different things. You have to watch it like 7 times to like get the idea of like, okay, did I like or to feel like, okay, did I get everything? Okay, good. I think I did. I think I did. I think I did. I mean, yeah. No. I did. Oh no, I did. Oh yeah. I did. You know, like I did, which is fair. I did, but it's not the worst. It's just that you got to find a way to do it. Like videos, forget it. Nobody like has figured out what 360 video is yet. No way, unless it was like a behind the scenes and it was very very short, maybe 10 minutes. But that's about the extent of what you want to use for 360 video. Nobody wants more than like what 10 minutes, in my opinion. Because I was gonna say like, oh, I would do like unless it was behind the scenes of like a movie, I would never want to watch a movie, but not like yeah, but as long as it's 10 minutes. Because I was gonna say like, oh, have a whole movie like that where you like see how it's made. No, I'm not watching an entire movie in 360. You out of your freaking mind? Are you out of your mind? I'd kill myself. You think 3D was bad? I would have just walked out that theater and been like, nope, goodbye. No, because that's the thing. For the longest time, there was 360, at least in my area, my cinemas, shoved down your throat. Just shoved down your throat. It was like 3D, 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 one slot of 2D, one slot of regular. 3D, 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 3D. I'm like, oh my god, what the heck? And every showing for like, from like 2008 or 9 to about 2016, 17 was 3D, 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 3D. Oh, one slot here has 2D on it. On like a Thursday at like 4. 3D, 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 3D. I hated 3D. I never liked it. I thought it was dumb. Some movies worked. Other movies just no. You're gonna watch freaking Titanic in 3D? Why? Why? Or this movie or that movie? I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like it's dumb. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, look. In my opinion, okay, I feel like it's not usable. It's dumb. So if you got me 360, forget it. I'd literally be like, nope. I'm 100% out. I'm not touching this. I'm done. I'm so done. I'm not watching this. Because you have to have a headset on, right? And I would just probably throw up. Most people would probably throw up. You know, they would probably throw up. Think about it, right? Because there's a lot of those things in places like Disney, not Disney, Universal Studios, where it's like, oh yeah, you can go into like these rides, and it's basically like a roller coaster with like a headset on your head. That's it. I'm like, interesting. I heard about it. Went interesting. Not that it was great or bad or whatever, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, oh my god, it's really dumb, but okay. Sure. But yeah, it's weird, but okay. I'm also waiting for some people who are telling me about camera stuff. I'm trading a Minolta Himatic S7 for a Vivitar with a lens, so it's an SLR. Good stuff. And maybe a Fuji Pixie what's it called? It's called a Fuji Fine Pix. Apparently it's supposed to be 3 megapixel. Although I read a thing that was 9. That was 12 megapixels, so I don't know what that means. Like I read a review article, whatever, a blog, whatever it's called, that says it's 12.3 megapixels. So I don't know what's right, because it could be just a different version of it. I don't know. What I'm saying is, I might be paying $26 for that. That's only shipping, basically. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Now, I don't 100% know if I'm going to get that one, but I know I'm going to get the other one, though. I'm definitely going to get get a Vivitar with a lens. Ooh, I don't have an SLR, okay? And I'm kind of peeved about that. Because even the cameras where the lens moves while I zoom, they're not connected directly to the lens, so I'm still getting it technically wrong. Like, I'm not seeing what I'm shooting, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, like, I want an SLR. I want one. so mad because I'm just like getting peeved off. Also, I want a digital camera. Just give me a damn digital camera. I'm getting peeved off at the fact that like, no, stop your non-digital cameras. Look, you know what I do? I'd be the photographer at my local what's it called? Young adults rally. Is it a rally? Is it a conference? What does he consider it? I want to know. I should ask him one day. What do you consider this thing? Like, is it a rally? Is it a conference? What is this? I know it's called one thing, but like, what is it? Like, he doesn't give it like a name or like a title. Oh, we're doing a rally here. We're doing a conference. We're doing a retreat. No, we're not doing any of those things. Well, maybe a rally. I call it a young adults rally just because like that makes the most sense. Because when I say rally, you know, when somebody rallies together, they rally because there's a youth rally, right? And now there's a young adults rally, and so I'm like, oh, okay. Look, in my opinion, right? The rallies are just rallies, you know, so whatever. Which is fair. But, you know, I just call it a rally because it makes more sense. Because I used to go to a, like, youth rally that still exists, just different management. But, yeah, so I just, you know, so I call that a rally. Anyway, I digress. It's beside the point. It's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is I would love to take photos at that rally because that'd be so cool. Because then I can fix my one... Well, I have two problems with that rally. There's another bunch of problems that are smaller and I don't really care about. You know, loud music and whatnot. Whatever, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? Sorry, don't say that word. Who gives a care? But, I shouldn't say that word. I don't want to swear a lot. I don't want to swear. Anyway. The other problem is, like, meeting people and, like, getting the new people involved and all that stuff. Sure. And socializing? Sure. But that's a different story that can be fixed in a different way. My thing is, you just do this. You just tell the photographer, look, take a photo of everybody. It's not, because my problem with it is, I said this before. I know I said this before. My problem is that people like myself, and I've done it. I've watched it. I've seen it. I've looked at the photographer and went, okay, that people don't get their picture taken. Now, I don't care, and most people don't care, but I'm just saying, like, I notice it. And so the thing is, because the stupid thing is, I know I said this before, turn your camera 2 inches to the left or the right, and I would be in your photo. I know that. I know where I was standing in that photo. I can see it. I'm watching you. Turn your camera 2 inches to the left or to the right, and I'm in the photo. So I asked the guy, because the guy in charge who runs the thing sometimes takes photos, and I asked him, okay. How do you decide what photos to take? He goes, oh, good. You know, just engaging, you know, social photo, you know, people talking, you know, things doing. I was like, okay, good. So candid photos. Got it. So me sitting down is going to never get a photo. But then I didn't realize to take the photo of the, you know, ask the female photographer. Dang it. Anyway. Right? What her criteria is. Because I think he chooses the photos. But then again, I'm looking at it going, no. It's not him choosing the photos, not the guy in charge choosing the photos, because I can see that she's actively not taking photos of certain people. Now, I said to my friend, okay, look, what I think is happening here is, these people are being told, okay, here are the, like, 5 or 6 groups of people you need to take a photo of. The AV, the band, maybe not the AV, but like the band, the speaker, the crowd, like the audience, the band, the speaker, the audience, whoever's doing announcements, and the game. And everything else is just secondary. And then some photos of people talking and mingling and socializing. But you don't need to take a photo of, like, and I wouldn't be surprised if this person has been told, these people have been told, well, here are the people you should be taking photos of. You gotta take a photo of this guy, and you gotta take a photo of that guy, and you gotta take a photo of this guy, and you gotta take a photo of that guy. But everybody else, I don't give a hoot about who else you take a photo of. And I'm like, you suck. You actually fucking suck if you do that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actively say, these kind of people, don't bother with them. If they're, you know, and by name saying this photo and this person, don't take a photo. What I'm saying is, this whole thing was to come to the point of saying, right, that I think that the only way to fix said problem is to become the photographer. Now, could I become the photographer? Hell yeah, if I had a camera. Because that's the one thing I would do at that place. I was thinking I would do worship, then I realized, no, you're not. Because I don't play with people, and I don't know how to play properly. Now, I say properly, like, because I always play them with, like, this weird, like, one strum on my ukulele. Because I can play ukulele. Just not very well. It's complicated, and I never learned properly, and I taught myself, and I kind of know most of the chords, and it's not good. It's not good. You handed me sheet music, I'd be like, oh, but you handed me chords, and I go, Oh yeah, okay, good. Or tabs. Tabs aren't as easy, but I can figure them out. Chords, forget it. No, thank you. Chords, yes. Tabs, no, thank you. But I can figure them out. Chords, I'm good. Anyway, what I'm saying is, um, the only way I could fix that is if I had a camera, which I'm probably gonna get that $26 camera some way or another, and just be like, yo, because they say like if you'd like to be involved here, do this. You know, there's a sign up sheet or whatever. I'd love to be the photographer so I can make my own decisions on who the hell to take photos of. Fuck. Like I hate people who like, oh my god, like they act. I came to the conclusion that you actively have to be telling this person, this woman, this girl, this lady, this female, this photographer, who to not take photos of. You have to actively say, right here, Andrew, Fasciano, Andrew, don't take photos of them. Don't do it. Or it's more general. So it's like you better take please take photos of these people, and I don't care about anybody else, and don't take photos of, boring, sitting, not engaging people. So I did that. I went and been candid. I made it. I did like an experiment. I was all candid. I did nothing. I sat there and got nothing. I went and did candid photos, as in talked to people, went with people, socialized, was engaged in stuff. I got nothing. Zero. So I'm like, get this bullshit. You gotta be actively missing. And it's not, okay, look, I'm not saying this because it's me, right? Like, and I'm like, oh, woe is me. I want picture taken of me. Right? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm saying this because I also see a whole bunch of other people, about a dozen other people, maybe like 8 to 12 other people, right? Or 6 to 10 other people, so half a dozen to a dozen people, where it's like, where are these people? Where are they? No, offense. No, seriously, where are they? Where is this person, that person, this person, that person? I thought to myself, do I gotta like jump on the tables? Do I gotta like do some stupid thing that? I'm not doing this to complain. I'm just telling you that if I got this camera that I'm thinking of getting, that I'd probably just say, I'll do the photos. Also, the lighting in that place is atrocious. He's got this like ambient mood lighting, which is fine when you're doing the actual event. But God, I mean, my church does the same thing, and I want to smack whoever's in charge of the lighting. I want to go, turn on the fucking lights. God dang it. I'm not saying it's terrible. What? What? No. Dad. So yeah, I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. But I'm just saying like the lighting is terrible. But that's just on me, and I don't like it. Although I hate like it's basically like that stupid romantic ambient light where it's like really low, and then you got all the lights around on the top, like at the top, and I'm like, what is this candlelight? What are we on a date? What are we in a movie theater? God dang it. Although I do not think it's that bad. I understand why they do it. They do it because but from the beginning, just turn the lights down for a certain amount of time. I don't understand it. There is better lighting. But God, for stupid, smack the guy who decided that was a good idea. I want to smack the guy in charge of lighting, because god dang, he's always like, I can't see a damn thing in front. I can't see the hand in front of me. I cannot see my hand in front of me sometimes. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. What are we in a movie theater? What are we on a date? What's going on here? Anyway, that's beside the point. I'm just saying the light, I'm just saying the only way to fix this problem is if someone like me becomes the photographer. That's the photographer. That's it. There's no other way of fixing the problem. I don't think. Unless you talked to the guy and said, look, man, I got two problems with this whole thing. One, which is the people and the socializing and all that. But two, it's like, just take a goddamn... Look, you can fake the damn thing and never use any of these photos. I don't give a rat's patootie about this. I just want you to make us feel like you're doing it. But his response to that would probably be like, so lie. I don't give a damn. Look, I don't care. I don't give a flying patootie if I get my photo taken. I don't care. Or that my photo gets used. Just take the damn photo of me so I can, false sense of, false sense of importance, That's just my opinion. I'm like, it's not hard. You're not paying for the photos. You're not paying the woman, as far as I know. So, god darn it. Maybe you are. Maybe that's the whole thing he was, or they were talking about when they're talking about like prices. They didn't talk about it to me, but I heard that like it's expensive to run. I'm like, well, that's expensive, and my mother goes, food, and I go, oh, yeah. I'm like, that's the only thing that's expensive, right? Because we have food, and they have to pay for food. And they don't pay anybody. I'm 99.99999% sure they don't pay anybody. They don't pay nobody. They don't pay nobody. Go freak yourself. They don't pay nobody. They don't pay nobody. But I got food, so I'm like, okay, great. I mean, I might be wrong about that. I could be wrong with it, but I don't think they pay anybody. But I'm just saying, like, what's your problem? Basically, what's your problem? Are you what? You pay for every shot? Are you paying for the paying the photographer? What are you doing? What's going on here? Because no offense, but what the heck is a reason you can't just take 1,000 photos and use like 4? I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying that. I'm saying all this because I'm saying I might be getting a camera for cheap, and I would love and I want to maybe be the photographer. Now look, do I care? Not really. Would I have to be there at 5? Probably. I have to be the figure early. Leave like 4. Wow. I really don't have to, because the event is the only thing that really matters. So I could probably be there at like 6:30, 6:15, rather than But like, come on, man! I gotta be there earlier than I usually am. Damn it! I'm usually there between 6:30 and 5, because the whole thing starts at 5. 5 to 6 is hangout and homework and whatever, because there's free Wi-Fi, and then 6 to 7 is like, again 6 to 7 is like again hangout. I don't think the cafe opens yet. Well, actually, I think the cafe opens actually at 6. The coffee opens at 6. 6 to 7 is like coffee bar, and because it's like a whole thing, because the whole thing's called common grounds, like grounds like coffee grounds, and common grounds like we're all in the same common grounds, Anyway, the grind and all coffee puns, but anyway, and so yeah, and then from 7 to 7:30 is food usually, and then 7:30 is when it starts, and then it ends at about 9:30, and then there's 9:30 to like midnight, I'm sure, for people to just hang out and do an after party after show. But yeah, all I'm saying is, like, would I have to be there 5? Probably not, but maybe. I'd have to ask him, because I wouldn't know. Because I would do it if I had a digital camera. I'm not doing this on analog film. You fucking out of your mind. You out of your goddamn mind. You know how much money I would waste? You out of your goddamn. Also, what would you do with it? You would just, like, use, I guess, I don't know. You out of your goddamn mind? No. You out of your goddamn mind? No. I ain't out of my mind. I'm not stupid. But yeah, I would get a digital camera, just do it, Yeah, so in my opinion, that's the only way to fix that problem. I think, personally. Because you can ask the guy all you want. He'll do whatever. It will be done, whatever way it will get done. So there's nothing you can do about that. Unless you decide. Now, if he doesn't use those photos, that's a whole different story. I don't care. I'll just take a photo of everybody. Right? I don't care. I give a hoot. No. Fuck. No. Heck no. I'll give a hoot. You do whatever you want with the photos after that. I'm just going to take a photo of everybody. So that you get the false sense of importance. Like, look, I don't care. And look, within the time since I started complaining about this in July of last year, almost a year now, about 7, 8 months, I've been tagged in multiple photos, and I've been here in photos, but that's only when I end up getting up on stage for some reason, for some game or something. I did it for the Christmas sweater competition. I did it for some stupid fashion show. I did it for some other. There's like a third thing I did somehow, got tagged in. So I realized also when I get tagged, I'm like, oh, this is Instagram. It's on Instagram. So I get tagged. I'm like, okay. Also, I wonder why they can't do something like Flickr. I'm thinking, like, where are you getting your high-res photos? Although I don't know if Flickr, you need to buy like a Flickr Pro license for like an unlimited amount of. I never used Flickr. All I know about Flickr is my summer camp had a guy, and he's been going for like 20, 30 years. I'm not even joking. Like, it's ridiculous. And he does a week every year. He does like a theme week, because we do theme weeks at our summer camp. Anyway, and he takes a lot of photos and he puts them on Flickr. So I'm like, okay. And look, okay, Flickr is Flickr. I don't know how Flickr works. That's all I know about Flickr. And Flickr was given to me like the key to an internet city of which I am king. It's Internet Overdose by it's a song Internet Overdose by Rhett and Link. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know much about Flickr. I just thought to myself, because I told my friend, I'm like, well, why don't you put it on Flickr? Because not everybody has Facebook, and what if they want the full res photos, right? And I realized, oh, I don't know how Flickr works. Do you need to buy like a pro license for, or do you need to have a pro account for Flickr? You have to pay for Flickr basically if you want to upload more than a certain amount or more than a certain resolution. I don't know how Flickr works. Maybe, possibly, it might be a monthly thing where you're only allowed so many pictures a week or a day or a month or whatever. So yeah, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying like ooh, that feels like something that would be a very good like thing to use for like high res photos for the people who don't have Facebook. Because for some flippin' reason, Facebook's still the thing they keep using. I'm like, God dang it! Young adults uses Facebook. The young adults rally uses Facebook. Why are you using? At least he's figured out. Hey, for those people who don't have Facebook or just don't want to be notified on Facebook, there's an email list or there's a this list or that. Not the perfect solution, but at least it's a solution. We have a gosh darn Discord and Instagram. We have a Discord server and an Instagram live group chat, and I'm like, none of you people care about either of those things. I think unless we like kick people over by deleting the Facebook, we're never gonna get anybody on the Discord. But on Instagram, why not? I don't understand. What the heck? But okay. I don't understand it, but okay. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. But anyway, so yeah, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. So just my opinion that like I feel like Flickr. If you know anything about Flickr, let me know because I'd love to know like what you know. I'm just saying like I don't know where much about Flickr. All I know about Flickr is like you can post photos on it. It's like an Instagram, but like you get more albumy type of. It's very hard to explain because I don't actually know exactly what the difference would be. Well, here's the thing. Okay, I think it's more of a or less social media. It's basically Instagram without the social aspect. You can't, or maybe you can't like comment and like interact with it in the same way. Maybe I have no idea. Excuse me. I'm just saying like I feel like I seem like that's what it is. I don't know much about it, so if you know anything about it, let me know. Like, do I need a pro account? How many can I do a month or whatever X amount of whatever's? And can I have full res photos, high res photos for free? Do I only have to get a certain amount? Do I get like 30 and that's it forever? How does it work? I could probably look into it, but I feel because I know that the guy that I'm thinking of for my summer camp has a pro account, so or a whatever gold account, limited account, paid account. So pro account, yeah. So yeah, for me at least, I feel like it's going, that would be the solution to that problem, which isn't really a problem even. Like, who cares? You get them on Instagram, who gives a fuck? And why does Facebook allow full res photos, but Instagram, the photo website, doesn't? That's probably why. It's probably because there's not a lot of photos on there, and so because of the fact that there's not a lot of photos on Facebook, they can hold them all full res. You took all the photos and made them all full res on Instagram, and flippity doo you'd be holding a gosh darn buttload of storage, maybe? I don't know. You're not taking, 5 million megapixel cameras with that Hasselblad that they came out with, or Zeiss? No, the Hasselblad. The one that they reviewed on the studio channel for Marquez Brownlee, studio channel, and what's his name? David, he reviewed it, and they came out as something ridiculous, like 200 gigabyte photos. It was something ridiculous. I think it took like 200 or 300 photos, and it came out to be a couple of terabytes. I'm like, oh my god, that's insane! I thought to myself, that's insane. But then I'm like, yeah, well, the photos look great. Yeah, but what are we doing? Raw photos with ProRes and blah. Oh my god, it's insane. I don't have that kind of space yet. I don't have that kind of space yet. I don't have that kind of space yet. And that's the thing. My friend's making me a server, and he's like, "No, I'm actually really close to finishing a server. I just need a hard drive. It was a hard drive, and like how you want it set up. Let me know like how you want it set up because he's got an old laptop running Linux Mint with the server software installed, I think, or like setup. He's basically all done. All he needs is a hard drive and to like initialize it, and then it's like done. So for me at least, I can have a server. But anyway, that's his job. That's what he does, or that's what he did. He's a cybersecurity he's going to school for cybersecurity, and he knows all that stuff. He knows how to do all that stuff. He knows how to make stuff with Dockers and containers, and Linux is like what he learned on, because that's what you learn. You're trying to learn how to become a software or like a hardware or a whatever person on the internet, like or cybersecurity, whatever, any of that stuff. You need to learn Linux. You do. You 100% need to learn Linux, and you're probably going to learn it through headless. You're probably going to do GUI-less, which is dumb in my opinion, but yeah, but that's because you're not doing it the way everybody does it. Plug in a computer, you remote connect or connect through like one monitor through VGA, and you just like headless, boom. In something like a Raspberry Pi, something dumbly stupid, like something really small, like or like a computer with that on it, yeah. Because when I learned about when I started watching Linus Tech Tips videos about servers, I learned, a server is just a computer. It's just a computer. There's nothing special about them. I always thought servers were some sort of like specialized equipment that you need to use. Yeah, there are server grade or server chips and server CPUs and server motherboards and server RAM, but you could just use any computer to make a server. There are better ones that'll run more and longer and all that, but there are there's no such thing as a server. Servers don't exist. They're just computers that you've assigned it to be a server. You've told it you've made it a server. So at least that's what I've picked up. So in my opinion, servers are just very simple to figure out. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm just saying servers, So I gave him an old laptop, a really old Samsung laptop that does nothing. It will do nothing else than run a server. That's all it's going to do. So it's probably going to be fine. It's the slowest laptop I've ever used. It's so bad. It's so bad. But that's only because I'm trying to run Windows 10 on a laptop that tried to run Windows 7. That was slow on Windows 7 back in the day. Back in the day, it was slow running Windows 7. So because it was slow running Windows 7, right? Or not fast running Windows 7, it's not going to be fast running Windows 10. Anyway, look, I don't care. I'm just saying like my server will be good. So yeah, so they're not big photos. I don't know. But yeah, it's because they're all being taken on a phone. So for something like Flickr, not all of them. Although my mother asked me that one time, she's like, "How are these people getting such amazing looking photos?" And I go, "Real camera." And I meant real like DSLR mirrorless camera, right? Digital camera. Back to phone, onto Instagram. And she's like, "But that's so." Now I've learned. Oh, it could be digital camera to computer to Instagram.com. Same way Facebook would be Facebook.com, and posting all these posting. She's like, but it's so good. Why my photos look crap? First of all, you're using an old phone, and it was an old phone at the time. It was like a 6 Plus, and she upgraded to the 8 Plus. And I think she should upgrade again to probably about I'm about to say like either a 10 or a 13 or 14, but you get it used Plus, Pro, whatever, the best one, nicest one. Right? So yeah, and two, it's because it's been put onto with a real camera, then put on, maybe even edited for all I know. I don't think so, but yeah. So personally, my opinion, I don't know. I was like, it seems so like not counterintuitive, but like so like it seems like such a hassle to like go from a real digital camera to a phone or to a computer to a phone because you have to take out the SD card, to a computer to a phone, then to Instagram. And then I learned, oh no, there's an app on the Microsoft Store that I have, which I like, and there's a website just for Instagram. I'm like, oh, so people are just going from there, I guess. It's like, yeah, well, that makes more sense. That makes way more sense. So yeah, photos, I don't know. I watched a video by the Apex guy, David Murray, and he's talking about like a camera, right? And he's talking about, I think it's one of the Mavicas. It's either one of the Mavicas or it's the no, I think it's one of the Mavicas. He's talking about how like I think he said 3 megapixels is about the most you can get. He thinks that like that's like the peak of like Nothing gets really better after that. It just, you know, because Marquez Brownlee talks about this, where he goes, I think it was either Marquez Brownlee or Austin Evans, who went to CES one year and went, here's a 1 megapixel photo. That's amazing. Because it's all these other parameters, or there's a really low megapixel photo that's really amazing because all the other parameters, apertures and white balance and ISO and shutter speed and all that stuff, right? And then here's a like 200 or 2,000, something ridiculously high, hundreds of megapixels that look like garbage. Because that's the thing, right? He's talking about how like photos, right, are not just megapixel. Megapixels mean nothing. So David Murray's talking about how like he thinks that's the peak of megapixel because like nothing you can do to the megapixel. You can't just make megapixels better. If no other part of the photo is good, if no other part of the camera is good, if you've got the crappiest camera, but hey, you've got 2 billion megapixels, no, I'm sorry, that's dumb. I'm sorry, that's just dumb. You're not going to get a good photo out of it. Or you're not going to get the kind of photo you want out of it. You're not going to be nice. Yeah, so personally, in my opinion, I kind of agree with David in the sense that like you can get to a certain level of megapixels. It's the same way like resolution, right? Where you can't get like you'll get to a point where we just cannot tell better resolution. Now, resolution there is an actual like yes, 100%. There's an actual like no. There's an actual difference. You can see it. There are reasons to use higher resolutions. For megapixels, no. I'm sure that's what I've been told. I don't know if it's true, but because like there's a theoretical limit. I don't know if that is true or and is in reality like practically like really, but yeah. Because if you don't have anything else about the camera, nothing. You cannot just keep adding megapixels just to like just like and assume it's all somebody's so much better, and just expect it to be like a better photo. No, you need all the other parameters. Because that's what he says. It's like, well, you got because somebody was talking about a video. It was a video about somebody about cameras. I don't remember who it was, but it was maybe it was Marquez because he was talking about phones at one point and saying how what's a good phone, perfect phone, and this is good for that, but that's good for that. And anyway, somebody was talking about how yeah, well, if you have great megapixel, high megapixel, but you don't have good this or good that or good this or good that or high this or this or this or this or that, it's not going to work. And you can have low megapixel, but you can have really good this and that, and then that's why it can come out good. Now look, I'm not saying megapixels are useless or like trivial and like it doesn't matter, but like there is a limit to like, well, you can't do more megapixels. Like you can't just have higher megapixels and just assume and expect it to be better, right? Well, no, of course not. But megapixels are something you should think about. But if that's the one thing, that's a problem. If that's the thing that the camera manufacturer or the phone manufacturer is going to like sell to you, hey, we got 400 megapixels. Like, yeah, great. Sure. Who cares? If your photo and every other aspect is garbage, is low, is whatever, is not good, right? Now, I'm not saying, it affects as much as, I don't know. I don't know. It affected that much? I don't know. Everything. It's a rounded out thing, too. It's like the exposure triangle, where the only thing I know about the exposure triangle, and this is my layman explanation of the exposure triangle. It's basically you got a triangle of three things: exposure, aperture, and shutter speed. I think is that what it is? Yeah, or whatever the three things are. And all I know is if you change one, you got to change the other. That's it. So if you go down with one, you got to go up with another. If you go up with one, you got to go down with another. If one goes one way, and that's super easy to do in digital. You just look at it. You go, okay, oh, that looks really bad. Oh, go up. And then you got to look, and then certain ones like ISO will do grain. So if you're digitally changing your ISO, you're going to see lots of noise or grain, depending on. But then in analog, in film, you cannot see that ahead of time. So yeah, and then if you do this, it's too dark, and then this is going to bring it up, and this and that, So that's what it knows. So anyway, yeah. So there's like different things. Like, well, if you have to have this and that, they all balance each other out. If you don't have one, if you have one but not the other, if one's good but not the other, well then yeah, it's going to look bad. Or if one's good, if two of them are good but the other one or the other ones aren't good, well, it's not going to be good or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying that, look, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, megapixels don't mean as much as you think they do. No. No. No, I'm not saying they're irrelevant. I'm just saying, don't think you're 200 because look at it, okay? The iPhone sat at 12 megapixels for how long? Like 10 years or something? Something 12 years? There was big jumps from like in the 4 and the 5 era, in the 5 and the 6 era, but since then, about 5, 6, iPhone 5, iPhone 6, they haven't switched from 12 megapixels. I think they just switched to like 16 or something. God, man. So, and then the Samsungs have been going up and up and up and up and up and up and up, like 100 and something, 200 megapixels, and it's like something like that. And I'm like in the hundreds. I'm like, but your photo isn't like leaps and bounds better than the iPhones. I was like, no, not at all. It's like really, because I've looked at them. I've seen them side by side. I've seen, I think it was like a iPhone like 10 or something, or like 11, and the whatever Samsung was around then, and S8 or S9 or Note 9 or whatever. And I looked at them both side by side, and I went, one reproduces color. I like the color reproduction in one of these better. But the quality, there's not much of a difference. And the iPhone isn't like leaps and bounds worse. I always thought they were worse, the iPhones, but no. Yeah, I mean, I was like, kind of like, okay, well, you know, megapixel doesn't mean as much as you think. Megapixel does not mean as much as you think. At least not the way people make it out to be, and how manufacturers are like, we got a bajillion megapixel. Look at us, we got great pixel photos. So, iPhones had 12 megapixels for how long? And their photos have looked basically like great, like really good, sharp and nice and good. So I know it doesn't look good. That's on the user. That's a user error. I remember I remember I was doing something in a Apple store one time, and I turned around and they were gonna set a thing, and somebody was like, "Oh, what's this? What's this?" And the woman, the Apple store employee, was like, "Oh," she was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a class on how to use your camera." And I went, "No, you're not. No way." Because I thought to myself, I said to my mother, I'm like, "What are you showing people? How to click a button?" I mean, don't get me wrong. There were like 3 settings in that whole thing. So maybe there are things you could teach someone, but are you telling me right now that you're going to tell people how to take photos with a camera? Okay, right? Camera. Has no settings, 0, that you can get to through the camera app at least. Ugh, it's so diggity dum diggity dum. It is so dumb. Like no way. We gotta teach them how to lock focus and how to change the white balance. Yeah, I think it is white balance. Anyway, ah, shoot me. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. So if you want to get in touch with me, ask me any questions, comments, concerns, there's the email tacoimposters@gmail.com. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. There's the 2 discords, and then if you want to support me, there's the music. So there's a Patreon, patreon.com/wingwong. Both W's are capital. That's patreon.com/wingwong. Both W's are capital. Um, then there's the music. So if you want to stream my music or buy my music, and then there's my Etsy shop. So I think it's going to be it for now, guys. So adios, mi amigos.